Hello everyone, welcome to PMAC1140 Pre-Calculus. I'm Professor Nguyen. You can call me Mr. Nguyen. In this video, I'm going to introduce what textbook we're going to use for this class, and I'm going to let you know the first few topics we're going to cover during the first 2 weeks. Okay, so the textbook we're going to use for this class will be this one. Pre-Calculus by Lian Hornspine. This is the 7th edition. You don't need to buy physical textbook, kind of very expensive. All you have to do is you need to purchase the access code MyMathLab, because MyMathLab is the platform we use to do homework. Everybody have to do to purchase that to do homework. Okay, so this is our textbook. The ESPN, let me see, I can jump to the next page over here. The ESPN for this textbook will be, it should be listed in the bookstore, you know, but again, you don't need to buy the physical textbook. Let me see, I can find the ESPN number here. If you got the MyMathLab, then you can access the ebook online. So you don't have to buy the physical one. Oh, how come it? Yeah, right over here. So this is the ESPN number. You go to the bookstore and you just ask them to, you need to buy the access code MyMathLab for this textbook. Okay. So the topic we're gonna cover during the first 2 weeks will be we're gonna start with chapter number 2. Chapter number 1 is the one you're supposed to know already in college algebra, so we're not doing that. So we're going to start with section 2.2, then 2.6 and 2.8. 2.6 is the graph of basic function we also learn. So basically the first few weeks, couple of weeks, we just do nothing but a review, right? Because this is also the review in college algebra. This is also 2.6 is a review, and the equation of circle is also a review. Okay, so in this video, I'll be talking about section 2.2 in this textbook. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so section 2.2, equation of a circle. Okay, so let me put it right here. The equation of circle. I don't know if you guys still remember, but the first time we learned linear equation, we learned a linear equation in two variables, x and y, and the equation of circle also in terms of x and y. Let me go. This is go down a little bit. This is too big, so I think I'm going to stop right here. Sorry, I think I need to go down to 1.5, and this is also go down to 1.5. Sorry, guys, just wait on me a little bit. I'm just need to change a little bit here, and this one, oh, this one is good. Okay, so equation of circle is also in terms of two variables x and y, but this is not a function, because if you notice, you will see that if you have if you put the circle on coordinate system, whatever this circle, right, and you see that if you draw the vertical line test, you see it cut at 2 points. And because it cut at 2 points, this is equation of the circle. It's not a function. It's not a function, but it is still the equation in terms of two variables x and y. So on the first part of our lecture in this video, I want to talk about the definition, the mathematical definition of equation. What is equation, and we will be going through two forms of equation then maybe later we're going to learn how to, if we have time in this video, we learn how to write equation of the circle, how to convert from one form to the other form. Okay, so let's get started. So on the first part, so we have a definition. What is equation? What is the circle? So the circle is nothing but a collection of many points, infinitely many points, collection of points. Okay, collection of points, and this point is equidistant from another point, which is equidistant from another point, and this another point here we call a center. This point called center. So if you go ahead and draw the circle, right? My circle is not perfect, but I try to be perfect. Okay, so you see that this is just imagine on this curve over here. This curve is contain many infinitely many points. That's why you can create the curve. Then if you pick a point here, and you see that all the point on this curve right here is equidistant from another point. This point right here we call the center. We call the point C. And if you go ahead and connect point C to any point on this curve, I call the point A over here. Then CA, we know CA is the radius, right? So CA is the radius. This is radius. Okay, radius. Okay. And of course, the whole thing will be the diameter. Yes, definitely. Okay, and well, it totally makes sense because you see that the equation of circle can be used to represent equation in two variables can be used to represent the equation to represent the circle because the circle is a collection of points, and point is there are two parts, right? X and Y. So if you have infinitely many points with in terms of X and Y, then you of course you have a circle. Yeah. Okay. And yeah. So basically that is the definition of the circle. And the equation, the circle has two forms. The first form we call that the standard form. So on the second part of our lecture, so I'm gonna put the forms of circle. There's two forms. The first form we call the standard form. Okay, and this is what a standard form look like. Standard form could be as follow: x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal r squared. So this is the standard form of equation of circle. I mean, I don't know if some of you took college algebra last semester, then hopefully you still remember this is what it looked like. So we need to explain what's h and k over here. I mean, h and k is actually the coordinate of the center. So the center with coordinate h and k. Okay, it's just the coordinate. Okay, just the coordinate of the center, and the radius is r, and this is always in this forms r square. Okay, so this is the coordinate of center. Okay. All right. Now, just imagine if you have h and k equal to 0. H and k. What if the center? What if the center is around the origin of the coordinate system? What we're gonna have? Then my equation become what? My equation become x squared plus y squared equal r squared, right? Equal r squared. So this is the equation of the circle when the center is at the origin of the coordinate system. Okay, and what if my r equal 1 unit? Then my equation of circle become x squared plus y squared equal 1, right? And this one later on, actually, you go to another class. Actually, after this class, the trigonometry, or maybe some of you already taken trigonometry. You know that this is unit circle. This is unit circle. Okay, when the radius equal r. Now let me give you the example. Let me give you an example. What if I have equation of circle that I have? What if I have x minus 3 square equal y minus 4 square equal 16? Okay. So from here, what we know the center will be 3 and 4, right? And the radius will be 4 because the 16 is equal 4 square. So the radius will be 4, right? So it is very easy to get the center and the radius if they give you the equation of the circle in standard form. Now, what if I have something like this? What if I have x plus 4 square plus y minus 3 square equal 5? Then you see the formula is minus, but this is plus, so it could be minus minus plus. So the center will be minus 4 and 3, right? But the radius will be square root of 5, because this one over here, if you put in the square form, it will be square root of 5 square, right? So the radius is not 5, but the radius will be square root. The radius will be square root of 5. Okay. So that's give you some example of equation of circle in 2 variable x and y in standard form. Okay. Now, in the next example, I'm gonna show you how to write equation of circle. Okay. Find equation of circle. Okay, that goes through point. Let's go through point. Let's say go through point. Excuse me. 2, 3, and has radius is 5 unit. All right. Let's see how we're gonna do this. Okay. So we want to find our equation of circle, and the equation of circle is this one. So we're gonna write a formula first, right? Okay. Let's see if we can do this. So they go through one of the point, and they have radius. Oh, I think I need to go through another point. I think I'm missing. So it must go through 2 points. If it give you 1 point, we cannot do it. So they go through points 2, 3, and -3, -4. Alright, so it give you 2 points. Okay, you go through 2 points. Alright, so in order to do this, so we're gonna go ahead and write out the formula first. Okay. Okay, so there's a couple different approach you can find, because the radius they give you already, they give you 2 points, so you can find the center, right? You can find the center, or you can plug into these 2 points into the equation to find it and solve the system. You can do that. In this one, I think I'm gonna find the center, because the center will be the midpoint of 2 points. So I'm gonna do the center. I'm gonna call xc, which is the coordinate of point C, and midpoint formula will be what? This plus this divided by 2, and yc will be this plus this divided by 2. So the center will have coordinates -1/2, -1/2, which is h and k. So from here we have then we have the equation x plus 1/2 square plus y plus 1/2 square equal r square, and r is 5. R is 5, so you have 5 square. Well, some of you can go ahead and convert it to 25. There you go. Alright, that's it. That is the equation of the circle. Okay, very easy. If they give you 2 points, very easy. All right. If they give you the center and the radius right away, that even easier, because all you have to do is just go ahead and plug into the center and the radius. Then you're done. You know. Okay. So that's the first form. Now the second form. Let me get some water. The second form is the general form. Okay. Actually, the reason they call it general form, because this form actually it comes from a very general form of the conic section. Later on, when we talk about at the end of the semester, we talk about the conic section. We talk about hyperbola, parabola, and ellipse. They are part of conic section, and the circle actually is also the part of conic section, and that's why it come from a very general form that used to derive the curve of ellipse, the curve of parabola, the curve of hyperbola, the curve of the circle. If you just go ahead and imagine, what if I have a cone? Well, I have the reason for that. What if you have a cone like this, right? I have a cone like that. Okay. And I have a plane, and this plane it cut the cone. It cut the cone horizontally. And when it cut the cone horizontally, you see that it creates a circle. It creates a circle. That's why. And you know, later on we will talk about conic section. I'm gonna go through this again and explain more why equation of circle, or the curve of the circle, is actually is called a part of the conic section. Okay, but at this moment we just talk about just take it for granted this is the general form of the equation of circle. Okay, so the general form will be x squared plus y squared plus ax plus by, okay, plus c equals 0. Excuse me. Okay. And I can give you example of what it look like. Example number 1. I have something like this: x squared plus y squared plus 2x minus 6y plus 7 equals 0. Now, if you look at this form, you recognize this is the equation of the circle. But the thing is this: if you compare two forms, you see that this one and this one, you will see for the standard form you can get the center and the radius right away. But for this one, you were like, where's the radius? Where's the center, right? It's very hard to define. Well, it doesn't mean that you cannot define the center and the radius, but obviously you cannot find the center and the radius here. But for the standard form, you have h and k, which is the center, and you have the radius. You have it right away. Okay. Later, I'm going to show you how to get the center and the radius out of this form. Now, sometimes it does not have. Sometimes it's missing one of the term, but it's still the general form of the equation of the circle. What if they have something like this? Example 2. What if I have x squared plus y squared plus 6y plus 2. This is also the equation of the circle. Okay? Also the equation of the circle. And on the next example, I will show you how to convert between the standard form and the general form. Well, if you have the standard form, you can convert to the general form easily by just expanding the perfect square right here. Now, what if I have something like that? What if I have, I give you the standard form, okay? What if I have x minus 1 square plus y plus 2 square equal 9? Now, if you just go ahead and convert to general form, it will be very easy. General form. Look at it. You just go ahead and expand this one. So x minus 1 square. X minus 1 square will be x minus 1 times x minus 1. So you foil them. So after you foil them, you will have x squared minus 2x plus 1. And over here, you also foil them. You have y squared plus 4y plus 4 equal 9. Now you see that if you go ahead and rearrange that, you will have x squared plus y squared minus 2x plus 4y plus 5 equal 9, right? And you go ahead and subtract both sides by 9. You will have x squared plus y squared minus 2x plus 4y minus 4 equals 0. Now you see your a value will be negative 2, right? Your b value will be 4. And your c value will be negative 4. So it's very easy to convert from standard form to general form. However, if you want to go from general form to standard form, what if I want to go from general form to standard form? Because if you can convert from general form to standard form, you can define the center and the radius, right? Because if it is in this general form, there's no radius, there's no center. Okay, but if you go ahead convert it to this form, then we can get the general, then we can get the center, we can get the center, and we can get the radius. But how are we going to convert this? Convert to standard form. Let's stop for a couple seconds and think how we're gonna do this. Okay, let's take. Okay. Any idea how I'm gonna do it? If you notice, you see that the standard form, they have a perfect square. They have the perfect square. And think about that. This is maybe you guys forgot, or maybe during the class of college algebra, you learned it, but you forgot, or you learned it last year, and now you took the pre-con, you forgot. There's a concept we call that completing the square. Because completing the square we learn in college algebra, it used to solve quadratic equation. So completing the square, it helps you to put it in the perfect square. And if you can put in the perfect square, you see that, we can get the standard form of the equation of the circle. And therefore we can get the center and the radius. Okay, so how are we going to do the perfect, how are we going to complete the square right here? Now let me rewrite it here. The first step you have to do, okay, it's very important. The first step you have to do is you're going to kick number 7 to the other side. Okay, then you rearrange, you gather all the x term together. Okay, then look at this. To complete the square, you remember you take the number in front of the x, you divide it by 2. So 2 divided by 2 gives you 1. Then you square it, so 1 square gives you 1. So you're going to add 1 over here and 1 here. The same thing over here. You take negative 6 divided by 2 gives you negative 3. And negative 3 you square gives you 9. You add 9 here and you add 9 here. This 3 part here is a perfect square. So how are we going to write a perfect square over here? This is plus, so I can write x plus 1 square. Right over here, because this is minus, so we write y, oh don't forget a plus, minus. In order to get 9, so you can have 3 square. So this is 1 square 1, this 3 square is 9, and you add them up, it's 10, 3. Here you go, look at that. This is your h, this is your k, and this is your radius. So the center over here will be minus 1, minus 1, and 3, and the radius will be square root of 3. I'm sorry, I think somebody, I heard some noise. You know, I'm staying alone in my house, and sometimes I'm kind of scared, you know. Now, hopefully nobody. Usually, you know, I never open door to anyone who come to my house at night, and now it's at night. Okay, I think it's just a cat or something. Okay. Alright, so we have the radius will be square root of 3, not 3 because the formula is r squared. So the formula r squared, so this is could be square root of 3 squared give you 3. So the radius is the square root of 3, not 3. Okay. So that's how you do complete the square to get the center and the radius. Now, let me give you another one. Let me give you another example number 4. I think I'm gonna write over here. Kind of the same thing, okay? I want you convert it to standard form. What if I have this? Plus 2x. I have some fraction over there. Plus 1. Okay, you guys in pre-calculus, I know that, you know, when I teach intermediate algebra and a student told me that, oh, they're afraid of fraction. When you guys in pre-calculus, you know, you're not afraid of fraction, okay? You cannot tell me that you're afraid of fraction. So we had a fraction like this, and again, we want to convert it to standard form. Okay. Okay, so again, we're going to pick this number over there, and we rearrange the x together. Okay. I'm sorry if you cannot recognize my handwriting. Just let me know, okay? I know my sister kind of told me, that she said, oh, my handwriting is not good, it sucks, you know. But I try to fix that, you know what I mean? Yeah. But at this moment, just deal with it, okay? I mean, just let me know if you cannot recognize any number or anything. That's a good thing about online. You mean, for face-to-face you can ask me, but online is not. You can send me a message. Let me know that at what minute, okay, in the video, and you need to be clear and just send me a message. Okay, so you're gonna check this. You divide by 2. So 1 over 2 divided by 2 give you 1 over 4. 1 over 4 you square to give you 1 over 16. So you're gonna add 1 over 16 over here. Alright. The same thing over here. You take 2. You take 2 over here. You divide by 2 give you 1. 1 square give you 1. Then you will add 1 over here. So this number and this number is kind of new number. You just add them in. And these three term right here, we can write it x plus 1 over 4 square. It's a perfect square because 1 over 4 square give you 1 over 16. And over here you have 1 y plus 1 square. And it cancels out. This will give you 1. So you see the center in this case will be negative 1 over 4 minus 1. Okay, because the formula is minus. So if it's plus, then it must be minus minus. And the radius will be 1. Okay. Good. So basically that's all about equation of the circle. You see that kind of similar to what we learned in college algebra. If you never learned this in college algebra, and here you go, this is a new chance. This is a chance for you to learn. If you already learned it in college algebra, I assume that I have to admit that it's a part of the curriculum in college algebra. If some of your professors skipped it, then maybe I don't know, okay, but it should be the part of college algebra. Okay, if not, then for some reason your professor did not have time, and he skipped. And here you go. This is a new thing for you to learn. Okay, but it's not really that hard. Okay, please watch the video carefully. And this is the first video, so it's kind of short. On the second video, I will be talking about all the basic function and how to grab in the domain of the basic function, and how we learn to combine and compose the function together. Okay, let me know if you have any question in this video. I'll try to reply to you as soon as I can. I'll see you next time.